find yourself often procrastinating things, and at the end of the day you realize that you did nothing, and that really bothers you, but you cannot find the energy or time to really do those things. You keep procrastinating. Then the tips that I'm going to give in this video will help you a lot. Welcome to Ece Gurler Art. This is Ece Gurler. I am an artist coach and also an art educator. If you want to hear from me or my business, don't forget to subscribe. The famous mindset coach Mel Robbins says that you are not a procrastinator. You have the habit of procrastinating. You have to tell yourself that, because you shouldn't see it as a part of your personality. Habits can change and you can change it. You have the power of changing it. And also, there's a reason behind your procrastination. And probably the reason is you are stressed about something. I mean, there are so many factors in life, right? You might be stressed about your relationship, you might be stressed about work, you might be stressed about, I don't know, money, which is very common. So the first step is to acknowledge you're stressed, and this is why you want to put things off. Once you acknowledge that, of course, it's not easy to get rid of that stress. And if you cannot get rid of that stress right away, or the stress factor, then you can manage how to avoid that stressful factor. Instead of procrastinating, you can find different ways to avoid. For me, it works when I tell myself that there will be a reward at the end. If I get to finish this work in this many hours, then I'm going to watch my favorite episode of the TV show. Or I'm going to eat out tonight with my fiance, but before I do that, I need to finish my work first. So these kind of little rewards actually help me a lot to get things done when I feel like procrastinating. And another method Mel Robbins suggested, which is a very smart way if you ask me. Let's say you have to get things done and you keep like dragging your feet, then you should count down from 5 to 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and start doing that job for 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. And then if you decide to leave, you can leave. But according to the research, 80% of the people who started doing things for 5 minutes, they keep going. I think it's because they realized that there was nothing to be afraid of or nothing to drag feet about, and they actually enjoy what they are doing. Another method I want to suggest is to divide the big tasks into small tasks. For example, you want to do this oil painting in 2 days, and you need to finish it in 2 days so that it's going to dry, and then you're going to send it to the commissioner. What you can do is to divide that process into 2-hour windows. Okay, I'm going to sit down for 2 hours first, and I'm going to do the first layer, and then I'm going to give like 3 or 4 hour break, read my book, go out for a walk and stuff like that, and then come back and work on it for 2 more hours. And I'm going to do this and that, and then I'm going to sleep. Next day, I'm going to work 2 more hours, yada. So you got my point. If you compartmentalize your work like this, then it's going to be, first of all, easier to move on, and second, it's not going to be tiring, and you will be actually enjoying the fact that you are getting done, even though it's in small steps. You are getting closer to finish line, one step closer each time. And I think the most difficult step would be the first one, the first 2 hours. So in order to make those 2 hours more fun, you can always create a more fun environment. You can have a setup outside, you can paint outside, or you can just turn on some music, create some lovely environment around you so that you don't feel bored. And finally, I want to talk to you about perfectionism. People think that perfectionism is helpful and perfectionism brings them happiness and success, which is not true. You can be successful without being perfectionist. One of the biggest dangers of perfectionism is all or none mentality. So all or none mentality is basically, if you don't have, let's say, 100 pictures, then you'll never open an Instagram. Or you feel like, oh, if you don't know how to oil paint, then you're not an artist at all. Or if you're not going to do hyperrealism, then you're not a good artist. So this kind of thinking will harm your career rather than help you to be successful. If you feel like you are one of those people who has the none or all mentality, then you need to kind of change the way you're thinking. For example, if you're waiting to apply for galleries for 5 years because you don't feel like you're in the advanced level yet, and in order to be represented by a gallery you have to be really, really good, then maybe you're wasting those 5 years by, you know, spending money on supplies and not making money at all, and taking those classes and paying money to all these courses and coaches, and suddenly 5 years later you just started to apply for galleries, but then you realize for those 5 years you could still apply to different galleries and still be accepted and make money from them. It's you who you're thinking that, oh, I have to have this level to be in a gallery. Nobody's telling you that. You are telling yourself. So how to get rid of this mentality? You can start from basics. You can start from small. What other areas in life that you have high standards, or standards that you think that are there but actually they don't make sense, and you start changing them a little bit, like lowering down those standards, and see how you feel about them. Of course, you should start from the ones that are like of no importance or little importance in life. Then you can slowly go up and do it in your career as well. For example, even though you have 3 paintings right now, just 3, you can start an Instagram account, a creator account, and upload those pictures and start selling them. I think this will be a good start. Besides procrastinating, actually there are so many other things that might be affecting you and might be limiting you in your career. If you want to know about them and how to deal with them, this video will be very helpful.